A little side note, if you guys try these fragrances and your eyebrows do not go up, I didn't do my job, but I can promise you they will. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell from the title, this is my top 5 ultimate men's cologne. If you guys are new to my channel, first of all, welcome. My name is Sarah. I'm so happy to have each and every single one of you here to join me. I worked in the perfume industry for over 10 years, so if you've watched maybe any of my other videos that has to do with fragrance, you guys know how passionate I am, and if you guys don't know, you'll know by the end of this video because it truly is therapy for me and I just love the smell of fragrance. It will always remind you of someone or something, and comment down below if you know exactly what I'm talking about. So without further ado, if you want to know what my top 5 men's fragrances are, then please keep watching. For the very first cologne, I just talked about it in my very last video where I did my top Christmas gift guide. If you guys have not seen it, I will link it up here. It is really good and it's perfect for really everybody. So I talked about this fragrance because I really love it, but it is the Armani Code Colonia. There's just something so fresh and spicy about it. So some of the notes are tonka bean, mandarin, bergamot, which I love bergamot in fragrances. It's just so good. I would say this is a great fragrance for nighttime when you want to go out. I know right now with whatever's going on in the world, it's really hard to do that, but it still makes you feel good. This is just a really nice one, especially if you're not too sure what they like. It's fresh but sweet at the same time. For my second cologne that I'm going to mention, and this is not in any specific order, but it is the Versace Dillon Blue. I'm sure you guys, or I'm sure most of you guys know this fragrance. Just makes your eyebrows go up. Well, at least if it does, I've always said, then it's a really good one. Oh yeah, fresh, spicy, it's like musky, black pepper, tonka bean. It's one of those fragrances that I know so many people have bought, and I know so many people can be turned off from it because so many people have bought it, but just know everybody has different body chemistry, so it might smell different on everybody. So just keep that in mind. I remember when I worked in the perfume industry, this fragrance I must have sold at least 6 a day, and that's huge, right? And if you worked in the perfume industry or you work in the perfume industry, you know what's your top sellers. And at the time when I worked, when this came out, this was like the banger of the year. This was so good. Everybody went nuts for it. All the girls were buying it for the guys, and it was just so good. They even had it in the huge 200 ml, and you know when they carry that in the 200 ml, it's good. It's perfect for all ages. I feel like if you're looking for a gift for maybe, you know, your 21-year-old son or maybe your husband, this is perfect. Okay, so for my third one, I know this is a little bit old school, but you know what? I love it, and I used to sell so much of this. I personally love Burberry. I love the designer, and this one is the Burberry London. If you know, the ladies has the Burberry London, which I'm obsessed with. It's just like one of those old school, like almost like 2000s, but so good cologne or fragrance. This one, warm, spicy, sweet at the same time. It is so good. Definitely a night fragrance. It's not a day fragrance. It might be a little bit too strong. It's not strong like in your face, but a little bit too much for the daytime, I would say. It's perfect for the evening, and I say this is probably for 30s and up. And I feel like this is the type of fragrance that you can't go wrong. Some of the original fragrances are just so good, and a lot of people forget about them because they're all oh, what's new, what's this, what's that. That's fine and that's great, and I love all the newer fragrances too, or at least most of them. But you can't forget about the originals, especially Burberry. Burberry has done it right from the very beginning, and I am just so obsessed with their fragrances. I think they do such a wonderful job. And if you haven't checked it out, you have to check out Burberry fragrances, even for ladies. It's just on a different level. It is so good, and I feel like their fragrances are very unique, so I love that. Unique is very important. You have the cinnamon, the lavender, the bergamot, mimosa, the tobacco leaf. That's where it gets spicy, but it's good. It's not, again, it's not spicy where it's unbearable, not like it has some really potent oud in it. It has none of that, but it is just one of those fragrances you just can't go wrong. If you know somebody likes a warm but spicy type of fragrance, this would be perfect. If you don't know what somebody likes or wants in a fragrance, maybe this wouldn't be a good choice just because you have that extra spiciness to it. So I would stick with something more fresher. For example, Dolce Gabbana Light Blue. I just mentioned that in one of my recent videos. You could do Yves L'homme. I'm obsessed with that. YSL fragrances, they just knock it out of the park. Just like Burberry, they just know fragrances so well. Givenchy, they have play. It's the fragrances, it just, I'm telling you, when the eyebrows go up, you just know. So for my next fragrance, when the original one came out, everyone went nuts. But when the Intense came out, because you know if something that's good, they make an Intense version, or you know, kind of like a remix to the original. Oh, this one, Polo Red Intense. This is perfect. This fragrance screams sexy to me. Fruity fragrance. I smell coffee, lavender. But let's go into the real notes. You get lemon, you get blood grapefruit, you get the coffee. So that was on point. It is one of those fragrances that it's fruity, but it's soft at the same time. And I know it's intense, it's just concentrated. It's just something about it that it's a definite statement maker. And I can promise you the way it sits after a while, because first you get, you know, the top, the middle, and the base note. Whew. This is a good one. This is a good one. Truthfully, this is one of my top favorite fragrances, and it's not an older one and it's not brand new, but it's one of those fragrances that when it came out, I can tell you it was towards the end of my where I worked in the fragrance industry. I sold tons and tons. Like, it was amazing, the campaigns that they did for this, and truthfully it was so worth it. Like, this type of fragrance, you can't go wrong. It's perfect for 21 all the way up. And even for that 21 age, if this is a little bit too fruity or it has too much of the coffee scent, maybe just do the regular one. This is just a heightened version of the original, and the original is still really good, but I personally love the Intense. I just like how it lingers. It just, it's so good. So for my final one, Burberry Brit Rhythm. I said how much I love Burberry. I was not joking. I could have had a couple of the Burberrys in here, but truthfully, as much as I love Burberry, there's still other wonderful fragrances out there and other fashion house designers that carry the most amazing colognes. But this one, this is perfect for day and night. Vanilla, amber, it's woodsy. It's perfect, again, for day and night. Light, not too in your face, but it's definitely still there. And I think that's important with cologne too. Sometimes too much freshness, it kind of wears off. You want something, in my opinion, that's fresh but still stays there, and I feel like this is the perfect fragrance for that. Basil, juniper berry, cardamom, tonka bean, all those notes go perfectly for this fragrance. They just go wonderful together. You know, sometimes people can make a fragrance and add just one odd note in there and it kind of ruins the palette of the fragrance, but these notes just go so amazing. This is personally my husband's go-to, and I'm obsessed with this for him. It smells so good, and I can truthfully say every time I had sold this, I never once had somebody come back and not say to me thank you, because this was just a game changer. It was so good. Again, it's not in your face, but it's fresh and warm at the same time. It does last long, personally, as far as I've seen, and again, it depends on your body chemistry, but you can't go wrong with this fragrance. Any Burberry fragrance, like I said before, is so good, but this one sits different. I feel like it's not the newest fragrance, and the ladies one is amazing as well. It's very soft, but this one, the men's rhythm, I feel like beats the woman's rhythm. It's just, this is so good, and I can't stress enough the almost elegance of this. It's like power but reserved at the same time. So this is definitely one of my top favorites. So everyone, these were my top 5 picks for men's cologne. Like I said, this was truly difficult to choose just 5, and I'm sure I'll make more videos to come. So keep in the loop, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified when a video comes out. I definitely want to do more of these, like I said, but I just want to take the time to say I love each and every single one of you. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope to see you in my next one. I love you guys.